everyone. We are Geeks Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Vince.
And I'm Ian.
And Ian is here with us. He is a good friend of ours. He hangs out with me in Star Trek Club, among all kinds of other things. Ian is a film major and an inspiring, film director or writer? What are you hoping to do?
Film editor, actually.
Editor, okay, sweet. And Vince and I, as you know, are people who make videos on YouTube. And Ian gave us our topic for today. Thanks for allowing us to be more lazy this week, Ian. Ian came up with a great topic, and his topic this time is...
video game franchises that should probably be discontinued, or video game franchises that should be continued. Basically.
So what we're asking is, and you're talking about like the oldest ones. So what and you're talking about consoles specifically, right?
Yeah. We're talking about video game series. But
mostly on consoles, right?
Yeah, mostly the ones on consoles. We're
talking Mario and Zelda.
Mario, Zelda, a lot of the old Nintendo stuff, and possibly even some new ones if if it comes up.
Okay, so we did Geeks Not Nerds months ago now, almost a year ago now, probably. About I don't know if you saw this, but we did a video on who we thought was more recognizable now to children, Mario or Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting about this is if you think that the Mario franchise should at some point be discontinued, then basically what you're doing is you're saying that it's too much of a money milker for Nintendo. Like, you must be thinking that if you think that that needs to happen. So that's my first question to you on that, is, like, first of all, do you think that Mario ought to be done? Do you think it's oversaturated?
Well...
Where did this idea come from?
Well, I mean, the idea is that I've watched a lot of video reviewers online who have talked about various different series that have just gone way past their prime, and I enjoy the Mario games. I enjoy them a lot, and... Over the past several decades, Nintendo has put Mario on pretty much anything and everything. He's gotten sports games, he got a board game, Mario Party, and he's been, in racing games, and then he actually has an adventure series, which I suppose you could say Mario 64 was part of that.
Oh, it was.
Sunshine, Galaxy, and everything. When Galaxy first came out, I actually am one of the few minority who really wasn't impressed by it. I thought it was a fun idea, but... when he took away Flood from Mario Sunshine, that basically mega super soaker he had, and
yeah, that was the best thing it did, to be honest with you.
The thing is I thought Flood was really fun in Mario Sunshine.
I thought Flood was a great They Might Be Giants album.
He didn't like Sunshine, just to let you know.
That's you're entitled to your opinion.
What's your favorite They Might Be Giants album?
Ian, your opinion is the exact opposite of the masses, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It is, and I just...
Which is not why you're wrong,
right?
But I'm just kidding.
But it feels like Galaxy kind of... They were running out of ideas, and another problem with that is that when they made Galaxy 2, it felt like they really had run out of ideas. It's just like they had done Mario 64, which was just a nice tweak into 3D platforming, and then Sunshine, where he's got like a super circuit and he's at the beach and stuff.
Okay, but then what about New Super Mario Brothers bringing it back to the basics?
Well, that's the thing. New Super Mario Brothers feels like it's essentially a remake of the original. Once again, they're just remaking things over and over again. I think that Nintendo's kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like, what do we do next? What do we do next? We don't know what to do with Mario now, and maybe...
Okay, weigh in, Vince.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that as long as you're making a good, fun, enjoyable game, I think the character still has right to exist. Now, the place that I get a little perturbed here, we'll call that, is when they start taking a character and moving in a direction that it obviously should not be going. My example here, and some people are going to disagree, is the Metroid Other M.
Oh, no, there are a lot of people who will agree with you on that.
And I'm not going to say that it shouldn't be third person, because if they want to take it into the third-person realm, that's fine, I don't care. It was originally third-person in a 2D side-scrolling format, but if they want to put it into first-person, I don't care. But if they want to jump back and forth, they need to find a more fluid system, because it's irritating at the moment.
Well, in fact, a lot of Metroid fans, and I'm not a Metroid fan, but a lot of people that I've talked to who have played the game and were big Metroid fans said that if you never played a Metroid game, you'll enjoy it, and if you played Metroid, you won't like it at all, because and mostly and not just that, but also story stuff. And also for people who like Metroid Prime, but a lot of people are saying things like, well, you can't like go back and look for things. Doors shut behind you. You can't explore until the game is over. And people don't like that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that, just because I've heard from people. But
that's my one complaint with other Metroid games, is that you'll spend hours and hours just dinking around the entire universe trying to find that one power-up that you need to open that stupid door. And 6 hours later, I finally found it. Then you open that door, you run 6 feet into the other level, and you have to go back and find the other one.
That's going to be Vince's new album, Dinking Around the Universe.
The one thing that I have to think about the Metroid games, I played the original Metroid games, the 2D side-scrollers, and I love them all. They're all really fun. Prime was a strange shift because it had gone from a 2D platformer, now it's a first-person shooter, and it's like, well, okay. The one thing that I always wanted Metroid series to do was to keep the graphics, but still make it a side-scroller. I always thought that would be a really awesome idea for Metroid.
And see, I think that you've really hit it, is that I think in order to keep these franchises going that have been around forever, the best thing to do is to try to keep them in their roots and find ways to push envelopes when you can. But I think it's a lot more important to make a fun game than it is to. I mean, when it comes to gaming, I just think it's a little more important to make a fun game than it is to make it do something entirely different. Because at that point, you might as well just make a new game. Why is it still
a Monty Python movie?
Why is it still Metroid? Why is it still Zelda? I mean, let's talk Zelda. Zelda is not what it used to be. It's an entirely different thing now.
Zelda, a lot of the old Zelda games are, the up-down two-dimensional ones are really tough, but they're still really fun. And the 3D Zeldas, I love all the 3D Zeldas. I thought they're really great adventure games, but they are kind of getting progressively worse. They're still fun, but Ocarina of Time, I feel as though, is the best 3D Zelda game. Majora's Mask, a small step down from that. Wind Waker, another small step down. Twilight Princess, another small step down. They're still fun, but it's just like, it doesn't have what it used to be.
And not being a big Zelda fan, but like, does it feel like the same franchise is my question. Because it seems like at some point when 3D got popular, we had to turn this into an entirely different thing. And I feel like that's ultimately what we're talking about here. Is the idea that maybe things should peter out, because if we have to just keep reimagining them every few years, why don't we just make a new franchise?
Yeah, the Zelda games are really fun, and Skyward Sword looks like an interesting idea, but I'm not sure if it's going to execute as well as some of the other ones. The first two, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, the first two 3D ones, were sort of similar. Majora's Mask being in a completely different area, but Wind Waker was, of course, this big, huge turnaround, let's go back to cell shading, and then Twilight Princess was, let's take it into the dark and gritty realm. We can try that with Zelda. But with Twilight Princess, they kind of lost some of the excitement for me because they didn't make it replayable. It's fun for the first time through, but then after a while, you're just kind of like, this is boring. This is all this huge, big, huge story, and then once you do it once, you really don't have to do it again. And with the other games, you could go back and play them over and over again, try and get everything. With Twilight Princess, you just don't have the motivation to, and I really hope that if they continue to do Zelda, that A, they don't do the massive pile of bad things that were the 2DS titles, because those are just terrible. But with the new one, I hope they really kind of make it a fun game, because I feel as though Zelda is losing its fun.
See, I don't think you're going to see any of these peter out.
I never liked Zelda.
I don't see it. I was never a big fan either, but
I hated it with a passion. I partially hated it because I knew everybody who loved it. Like, I knew everybody who loved it. They said, hey, Vince, we're going to send you emails and tell you how much we love it and how much you're stupid for not liking it.
Is part of that your lack of attention span? Because it's mine. Vince, we're making a video.
Oh, right. But, my problem with it was I'm playing a little boy with a sword who's going around killing things. I don't have a problem with a little boy killing things. Well, I do. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem.
What about
with
a little girl killing things?
No,
what a hit girl.
No, that's a problem.
Okay.
You see, I don't have a problem having a character that does it. I have a problem with the feasibility of it. I'm a little boy with a sword. How am I lifting this? You know, I said to somebody at one
What
point...
about I'm a plumber smacking into question blogs?
You have ruined the entire Zelda series for me. I have never thought that way before.
What about I'm a hedgehog trying to rescue woodland creatures?
You're exactly right here. But I said to somebody at one
Vince
point...
can't play video games now. They're just not realistic enough for him.
Well, the idea of giving a little boy that much power, I'm like, why? I mean, I understand in an absurdist universe, but this character is just a little boy.
Vince, when I was a kid playing video games, I never got that far. I went, I'm a dude walking around, like, you know what I mean? Like killing things. Like, I played the game. I never thought of story points. Like, I didn't do that.
You know, I said to somebody at one point, I said that to him. I said, I don't understand how that exists. And the guy said to me, well, he has the Triforce of this and that. He has the Triforce of courage. And I said, well, you can have enough courage to punch Mike Tyson in the face. That doesn't mean you're going to survive.
Can you imagine going, I am not going to play Mario World because I cannot see a dude sitting on a dinosaur walking around.
Well, here's my point. That is purely for the gameplay. When you're playing something that's either an RPG or sometimes an action RPG, which what Zelda is,
right.
They're trying to force a story as if this is the important part of the game.
Okay.
And that bothered me because I'm thinking, this is dumb. He's a little boy. This is dumb.
Well, guys, we really are out of time, believe it or not. But so like, where are we coming down on this? Because really, where I come down is, if games are fun, I'll play them. Like even retreads, I don't always mind. But I don't know. Like, I'm not a giant hardcore gamer, so like it's not a huge deal for me. So if the issue is it's preventing us from making new innovative franchises, yes, that's a problem. But beyond that, I mean, I'll play a Mario game still if it's good.
I'm not sure if innovation is the problem, because Nintendo's never had a problem with innovation. They're just like, let's gimmick the whole thing up. That's what the Wii was. That's what a lot of their stuff is. They want to go for the gimmicks.
Right.
Nothing particularly wrong with that, but it is kind of like what you guys say. I have to agree with you that if you want to keep the game, people coming back and playing the games, make them fun. I feel as though Metroid has lost a little bit of its fun. Mario is just kind of... I feel they've run out of ideas for Mario, and Zelda needs to go back to being fun for the games to really kind of shine once again.
Oh no, I'm coming down on the same spot. It's got to be fun. And I'm not going to repeat what you guys said. So there you go.
Well, what do you think? Leave us a comment. Let us know. Also, if you have an idea you'd like us to talk about later on in a future video, leave that in the comments as well. If you're ever in the Kansas City area, make sure you go to 87th Street in Overland Park, Kansas. Check out Pop Culture Comics. And thanks a lot for watching. I'm Captain Logan.
I'm Vince.
I'm Ian.
Reminding you to support your local comic book store.